So in our today's session, we are going to discuss about the module pool programming. Okay. We will discuss about the module pool programming. We have completed our enhancement chapter. All the important stuff which is there, we have completed in enhancement, and some of the optional concept, if you want to learn, I have just shared yesterday the link. From there you can learn. So those are not the frequently asked one, but sometimes the question like with 5 or 7 years of experience, 5 or 7 years of experience in interview, the question like they will ask what is filter body, what is filter body, what is fallback class, what is fallback class. So the filter body, just I would like to explain over here theoretically. This body will be called for some particular condition, like suppose there are implementation with multiple country, and if you want to call that particular body for India only. Okay, so suppose if you're going to create some purchase order and you want to implement that body, if the purchase order is going to be created for Indian customer, then only this body should be called. So in that case, this filter body, if somebody is there with the filter option enabled, there we can use this filter body. There is a fallback class. If suppose somebody is not implemented with some class, okay, suppose if you have a body over here and this body is implemented, if this body is implemented, what will happen? It will be having the multiple implementation, right? It will be having the multiple implementation. So suppose it is having some multiple implementation, like the very first implementation ZCL. This is one class. I'm just simply writing one class name, ZCL underscore IMPL2, and the class 3 ZCL underscore IMPL3. Okay, so these are the three different classes. Someone suppose in some project this implementation has been created, means this one implementation has been created where this class has been used. In another project, another implementation has been created and this class has been used. Just assume this body is the multiple use body, because if the body is not the multiple use, you cannot create the multiple implementation. So generally you are going to see in the real time the multiple use body. Okay, you are going to see in the real time generally the multiple use body. Okay, so suppose multiple implementation is there. So all this implementation, as we know that whenever multiple implementation is created, all the implementation will be called of that particular body, right? All the implementation will be called for that body. All this implementation will be called one by one. Okay, sequence you cannot decide. Sequence you cannot decide in which sequence. Sequence cannot be decided. Okay, that in which sequence this body will be called. Body will be called. Okay, this sequence will be determined by the SAP. What sequence each, like sometimes this can be also called, sometimes this can be also called. So sequence you cannot determine in which sequence this body will be, this implementation, that means this class will be called. Okay, fine. Now if you study more, then you will come across some concept. Okay, there you will come to know in some body you will decide the sequence. in somebody with the help of body layer concept, you can't define the sequence. So as of now, as a layman, just understand sequence cannot be decided. And in detail, I will prepare with proper detail that how we can decide the sequence, how we can force the sequence for some particular type of body. Okay. For that, I will prepare the video, and once I will prepare the video, I will share with you the link. That is not this topic is not our in syllabus, or just simply I'm just talking all this topic because sometimes with this 5 or 7 years of experience, such kind of question, these are some advanced question generally interviewer can ask. This filter body maybe with 2 or 3 years of experience can also be asked this filter body, but with its name itself, it is clear that what does it mean. For this also, I will prepare a separate video and I will share you the link. But as of now, make it as a optional. Okay. So now the fallback class. So suppose none of the implementation is there. This is your body, and suppose if you all this implementation is deactivated. Okay. In that case, if your body is having the option called fallback class, under that fallback class, what you can do that you can mention one default class. Suppose you have created some default class. The name of the default class can be anything. I'm just giving J default class. So in that case, if none of the implementation is going to get called because these are the switched off, okay, in that case, by default, this fallback class will be called. Okay. So these are advanced, advanced concept and rarely used, not frequently. I have never used this fallback class concept. Okay. So, but this is the concept. The concept should be known. So in case none of the implementation is active, in case none of the activation, in case none of the implementation is active, then the by default class will be then by default class can be mentioned under the fallback class. Okay. In case none of the implementation is active, then the by default class can be mentioned under the fallback class so that it will be called. It will be called. Okay. So if none of the implementation is active, then only this will be called. If any one of these is going to be active, in that case, this fallback class will not be called. Fallback, the name itself is suggesting fallback. If nothing is there and if your body is falling back, means if your body is not getting called, in that this class is going to catch. Okay, this class is going to catch. So that's the name fallback class. Fine, we'll start the topic today, the module pool programming. With the since last 8 to 10 years, or like 5 to 7 years, last 5 to 7 years, this actually module pool programming is a technique. You can also tell that GUI programming, GUI, graphical user interface programming, or interface programming, or interface programming. Okay. Or this is also known as a screen programming or DIN Pro programming. Okay. So this is known as DINPRO programming. Okay. So this is the my term. This GUI programming and interface programming. Maybe you can ignore this one. Let it be like this only. Screen programming, or I will put in a bracket. DINPRO. This is correct one. So this is the SAP term, which if you see the SAP standard documentation, there this module pool programming is also known as the screen programming, and also it is known as the DINPRO programming. Okay, this is just I'm telling, okay, because I feel like that it is nothing but the GUI programming or the interface programming. So maybe you can ignore this one, but this one is the important term, SAP standard term, or else I can remove this one to avoid any kind of confusion. Okay, so last to five, since last 5 to 7 years, there are a lot of changes is there in the front end technology. So this is screen programming or input programming is nothing but it is the front end technology. Front end means the GUI with which we are going to interact, the screen, right? So suppose if we have just let me log into the system. I will show you over there what I'm trying to tell you. Okay. So in front end technology, there is a technology called Fury. Okay, this Fury is the based on UI5 framework. UI5 framework. Since last 5 to 7 years, this Fury it has come around 2010 like that. So you can 10 like 7 to 10 years like that will be better. So this technology people are adopting, customers are adopting this Fury or UI5 framework because this is the web technology, because it's the web technology. Web technology means through the internet explorer or through the browser, we can interact with the SAP application server, right? That's the meaning. So as you know that this is the GUI with which we are interacting. Then we are having the application server over here, right? And then we are having over here the database server. Right? This we know that these are the things we are having, database server. So the GUI generally what we see that we have been seeing the GUI. This is let me check what is the problem. Okay, just give me a second. I'm trying to identify what is the problem, why it's not working. Okay, now it's working fine. So I'm just going to log in into the system. And here, this is screen you are able to see, right? This is screen. So one way is that you can install in your local computer GUI. This is SAP GUI software, right? And we have been interacting with the application server, right? We have been interacting with the application server. So this is the SAP standard GUI provided by the SAP. Okay. So this, if you see, for example, if we're going to SC11, right? This is the interface. This is one screen. With this screen, whatever you are able to see over here, this is one screen number. This is associated with the screen number, and this screen is having multiple element. Okay, so this is one element, this is one element. These are known as the elements, screen elements. Okay, these all are the screen elements. Okay, so all the screen is having the screen elements. This is SAP conventional technology which people have been using before, means mostly when the Fury and all this was not there mostly, but because nowadays everything is there, people is trying, the cloud technology, people is trying to access with the help of browser. They feel good because they can access from anywhere, uh, from the mobile, from the tablet, from the uh, PC, from anywhere, right? If they want to access, it's better to access with the help of browser. So keeping that in the mind, SAP came with the technology called Fury technology. This is based upon the UI5 framework. So now the conventional GUI technology, that means the screen programming or module programming, is not that much popular as it was earlier. Okay, earlier it was very important. Okay, very important. So now people are more focusing on Fury and UI5, but still this technology is having its own relevant because all the customer is not using the Fury and UI5. Okay, and if they are using also Fury and UI5, the Fury and UI5 technology is not that much stable as it was this module program. So suppose if their browser and all is facing some issue, they can locally log into their system and they can do whatever they want to do as we do over here. Okay. So this is more robust, more integrated with the SAP than Fury and UI. But still, this Fury and UI5 is going to be get more popular, more popular nowadays. So what actually I'm trying to say that it is losing gradually its popularity and it is not that much nowadays in demand as this Fury and UI5 is there. But we should know because still it is there. That's why we are going to discuss this module programming. So here, let me draw one more diagram. Now the current page, this UI5.
So your voice is not basically clear.
Yes.
Voice is not clear.
Okay, now is it fine?
Yeah, now it's fine.
Okay. So just let me know if you face any voice issue or something like that. So I will correct from my side. I'm using this headphone, somewhere it get misplaced, means their microphone, the direction and all gets disadjusted. So I will just adjust it. So please let me know if you face any problem. Fine. So the application server here, for this application server, now the current application server also is so much improved, right? Currently we are using NetWeaver 7.53. It's powerful than the previous application server, obviously, because this is the latest one. And the database server, we know in the database currently, earlier it was the something like non-HANA database like Oracle, Informix, Sybase, DB2, DB6, like that. Now you are having the HANA database, which is the in-memory database. So this is a kind of shifting under the technology. Okay, so when technology changes, our skill also needs to be upgraded, but still ABAP is in very much demand. There is no decline in popularity of the ABAP, but if we're going to learn this Fury and UI5 and all, this will be certainly having some extra edge. Okay, fine. Come over here, and the transaction you will have to remember SE51. This is the screen painter. Okay, here you can come and you can design your screen, you can create your screen, but generally we don't go to SE51 and we create the screen individually. Suppose if you have to create one screen, programming or module pool programming, the transaction to create the module pool programming, the best transaction we have is SE80. It's very easy from here to create the module pool program. Okay, so what you can do, you can select the program from here and give a module pool program name over here. For example, ZMP module pool ZMB 28 APR module pool demo. Okay, very first program we are going to create. Click on this yes button, and here it's giving the program name. Click on this OK button and executable program. From here just select this module pool program. Okay, so I've selected this module pool program, and now click on this save button, local object. So here your module pool program name is there. Okay, for this module pool program, what actually I want to do, I want to take two number on my screen. Okay, I want to take two number on my screen. Suppose this is our screen. So here just what I want to do, that I want to take this as a one number and this is another number, and here it will be my first number, and here we will be having the second number, and then we are going to have the multiple option like add. Suppose we are going to create one calculator. Okay, so add, multiply, subtract, divide. So like that we are going to, this is our requirement, and when we click on this add button, it should add this. When we want to click on this multiply button, it should multiply. Similarly like that, this is our requirement. Let's go and do that. So to take that one, we'll have to create one screen. So right click over there, click on this screen, click on this create button and come over here on this screen and try to create a screen from here. From SE51 also you can do the same thing, but it's here it's a better place from here to do everything from one place. Okay, I'm going to create the screen number 100, and here just write calculator. Any valid description can be given. Press enter, just save it. Okay, go to this layout, click on this layout, and go here, and here I want to give the first number. So to use this text option, multiple option you have, and give here the first number. Okay, so what you can do, that you can see that here the name is there. This is the technical name. So the first name I'm going to give over here, first underscore name, and the text whatever you will write over here, it will appear over here. Okay, so the first number. This first name and this is the first number. Here also let me write as a number, first number. Okay. So the first number we have given over here. So this is the text. Okay. This is the text. I require to pass some number over here. So for that we have this input output field. So select this one and drag and drop over here. Okay. Now I have given its name. Give this name also as the first, the technical name. First I'm going to give first underscore n I'm going to give, and here this text is optional. It is not mandatory. You can just leave it out. Okay. But the data type you will have to define because this is the number, the value you are going to give it over here. So the data type you can take it based upon your requirement. So I'm going to take the data type. Okay. If you're going to take the string data type, it will work with the minus sign or everything. It will work, right? If we're going to take this integer data type, it will give you the sign option. Okay. So program, come over here, go to display. It's not coming. I think with int one it is not there. Decimal, let us check. With sign, you can see here option is coming with sign. With the decimal, with the integer one, that option is not coming. So decimal you can select if you want to use a negative sign or something like that. A string also you can select because the string also it will give you that particular option. Okay. So character string, variable length, right? So here, though the option is not there, that case sensitive and all, but it will accept. Okay. So I'm just going to select this data type as a string, right? And then just save it. And similarly, one more number I require, right? Second number. So give the text over here, second number, and input output field over here. Give the name, double click. I'm just double clicking this option you are getting, or no, second underscore n. The text is not required for this input field. If you want, you can give text, or you can just give it. Just I want to format it little bit better so that it will look nice. Okay. Okay. So the first number and second number I have given it over here, right? Now I'm going to create one button. So you can create this button. Okay. So here, this is the add button. Give the add button over here. The name will have to give. That's why I'm going to give the text add. And whenever you create some push button, with that, you will have to create the function code. Because once you click on this particular push button, the logic should be triggered. The backend logic should be triggered. Okay. So when the backend logic will be triggered, it will be triggered only when if the function code is given over here. So I'm going to give the function code fc underscore add. And other thing is fine. Just leave it and close this one. Just save it. Okay. So the add button I have given it over here. One more button I can give. Come over here. And another push button we can give. This is for subtraction. Okay. Or multiplication, anything you can use. Sub, and here fc underscore sub. This is the function code I have given. Function code is important over here. Now just save it and go to this flow logic. Just save it over here and activate it. But we have designed our screen. That is fine. We have designed our screen. We have activated also, right? We have activated here also and there also, right? But will it work? Will it work? Let us see if it is going to work. How you can call a module pool program? How you can run a module pool program? To run a module pool program, you must require a transaction. You cannot run any module pool program without a transaction. If you click on this F8 button, it will tell that is inactive or has been changed. Okay, let me activate first. Okay, so it is now activated. Right click over here so that everything will be activated. Click on this activate. Active object is generated. Everything is now activated. Now click on this F8 button, and if you see, the master program is not an executable program. It is a module pool program, right? If you remember, when I was creating a program, from there I removed the executable option and I selected the module pool option, right? So how to call this module pool program? You have to create a transaction. Right click, click on create, click on this transaction and give the transaction name ZMB28APR MP. Okay, this is, I'm keeping the name this MP demo. And here you can see the first option is there, program and DINPro. Program and DINPro. Select this one. And here the program name. What is the program name? ZMB28. So for which program I want to create this particular, transaction, that program will have to give. So that module program name I'm giving over here. And then the DINPro number. This is the default DINPro number, the very first DINPro number which we want to give, that we can give it here. If you want, you can select or it is not mandatory. Just save it. Okay, local object and activate this one. There is no activation option, so the transaction is not required to be activated. That's fine. So we have created the transaction, right? We have created the transaction. Okay, so this is the program. Under this program we have a screen 100, and under this transaction, this is the transaction we have. Click on this transaction, double click and run this transaction. Okay, it is giving some wrong screen type. The screen has either been defined incorrectly or is being used incorrectly, this that. Okay, this is coming. This error can be there due to multiple problem. What can be the multiple problem? What can be the multiple problem? Go to the CIT and go to this screen, go to this program, go to this screen. You can see that this process before output, if you have just double click on this screen number, and under this screen number, whenever you create any screen, a screen comes with the 4 different events: process before output, process after output, okay, process on help request, and process on value request. Process on help request and process on value request. So these are the 4, these are the 4 events for every screen is there. Why these events are required? Why these events are required? These events are required because these events are required because you would like to write the logic. So if we're going to click on the add button, right, then this process after input event will trigger. If we're going to click on this add button, in that case the process after input event will be triggered. Just before displaying any screen, this process before output events get triggered. Okay, if we're going to click on this add button, we're going to click on this add button. Okay, so suppose this is your screen, and in this screen you have a button called, just a second, let me fill with some other color. Okay, no problem. So here, suppose we are having the add button, right? So when you click on this add button, what happens that the process after input PAI event gets triggered. So you can assume this is your screen, and when you are going to click on this add button, here your process after input means after giving the input, process after input code is going to get triggered. Here under this event you are going to write the code. Under this event you are going to write the code. Okay. And whenever any screen will be displayed, suppose this screen is going to get displayed. So when if you have to, suppose this screen name is something like 100. So whenever this screen is going to get displayed, so the process before output, any screen is going to get displayed. PBO event gets triggered. So if you remember in the report, we were discussing about add selection screen output, add selection screen. So add selection screen is nothing but process after input, and add selection screen output is nothing but the PBO. You can compare like this. Okay. So process before output can be compared with the add selection screen output. Is before displaying the screen, this event is going to get triggered, and this you can compare with the add selection screen. Add selection screen. This is what we have. And the another event just we have seen process on help request. This is for F4 help, and this is for the value request. This help request is for the F1 help. Actually, this is for F1 help, and this the value request is for the F4 help. Okay, F4 help, F1 help, and F4 help. So if you remember that on any of the screen, if we're going to for example SC11, we have this transaction. If you want to get some information about it, what we do, we press F1. So the same screen, if you want to do for your screen element also, with the help of that event you can do. And suppose if you want to populate some some list of search help, you can, by clicking on this particular button, you can you can use this process on value request for the this event. We will see this event, but first we will see this process before output and process after input. These are the basic events. These are the mandatory events which we should know. I'm going to enable this module status and this module user command. Okay, this module user command. This module, you can see the name is itself the module pool. Pool is nothing but the group of module. Module pool means pool of module, group of module. So where you are going to write the code? You are going to write the code under the module. Here there is no subroutine. Okay. Here there is no subroutine. You are going to write your code under the under the module. So here module status underscore 0 100 we are having. Okay, I'm just going to comment as of now. The module user command underscore 0 100. 0 100 is nothing but the screen number, and this is the name of the module under which we are going to write the code. Okay, what we can do, double click on this, click on this yes button, so that I would like to create one module in my main program itself. Okay, or if you want, you can segregate your module for the process after input and for process before output in two different include. One is for the process after input modules, and one is for the process before output, another is for process on help request. Means in the different include you can put, that also you can do. I'm just going to keep in the same module as of now, in the same main program. Click on this OK button, click on this yes, and you can see that the module is created automatically, right? So module user command underscore 0100 and process after input. This is there. That's why the input keyword has come over here, right? Just save it. I'm going to keep it dummy at this point of time. Take the syntax. There is no problem. Similarly, what I'm going to do that, this status also, let's create the dummy, module. So in the main program itself, I'm going to create the dummy module. Click on this yes button, click on this save button, and then check the syntax, right click over here and activate from here. Okay, so everything will be activated. Now let's go and try to run this transaction, whether it's going to give the dump at this point of time as well. So this is also this is again giving the dump. Okay, so let us see what is the problem. Wrong screen type. The screen has either been defined incorrectly or is being used incorrectly. Okay, with the character normal screen or sub screen, how the screen is used. Okay, fine. Let me check the screen type. It seems there is some problem with the screen type. Just go back, go to SC80 slash in SC80 and come over here. Go to this screen, double click, and then the attribute, and here you can see that the problem is here that I have used the sub screen. That's the mistake. We are supposed to use the normal screen. We will see when you can use the sub screen and when you can use this model dialog box. So this is the normal screen. The type I have selected wrongly. That's the reason it is, that's the reason it was having the problem. Okay, now this time it will not have any such problem. It should be called perfectly on this one, and this time you can see here the first number and the second number is coming over here, right? The screen is getting called, right? But here you can see you don't have the back button. How we will go back? So to get the back button, you know that we'll have to define the GUI status. Where you will define the GUI status? Okay, where you will define this GUI status. Any guess where you can define?
PF status, sir. PF status.
Yeah, the PF status is the same as the GUI status, right? PF status or GUI status. Okay. So the PF status, yeah, that's right. PF status, that is a frequently used term. GUI status is also the same thing. You can go and check the system here under the status, and here you will see this GUI, right? So this is the GUI for this program. Okay, we'll have to create our own PF status. So where we can create the PF status? Any idea? Under this process before output or under the process after input?
Process before output, sir.
Yes, perfect. This should be created under the process before output, because whenever you are going to display the screen, just before that it should be there. That's why by default, whenever you have created this module output, the set PF status and set title bar is here. Going to change mode, enable this one both, and the PF status we will first create. Give some name over here, not necessary to be started with jet, MB 28 APR, and here the title bar, you can give the title bar something, double click over here. First we will create the GUI status, that means the PF status, and here give the text. GUI status, click on this OK button, and then application toolbar, we are having the function keys, we are just going to give the back button which is required for us. So the back button, and here we are having the exit button, cancel button. Okay. If you double click over here, automatically for this button the function code is assigned, right? Function code back is assigned. For this exit also the function code is assigned, and you can see that function type normal application function, right? Remember this thing, you can see that normal application function. So by default, whatever the name you are going to give over here, that will be taken as the function code. Function code is mandatory to have the impact on the program. If you click on some button and function code is not defined, then in that case it will not trigger the logic. Okay, cancel, already the function code we have, right, for this button. There also on the screen, if you remember here, right, if you remember over here, for this we have defined the function code, right? If you remember, for the button we have defined the function code. Double click on this and you can see that function code we have defined. So for any kind of button we must have the function code, right? So the GUI status which we have created over here, we are defining the function code. So by default SAP has taken the function code, the name what we have taken. Okay, so when I click on the back button, when I will click on the exit button, it will be identified with the help of this function code. Just save it. Okay. Activate it. So I have activated this particular GUI status. Go to the screen over here, and where we will write the logic. Whenever you click on any back button or any exit button or any cancel button, in which event you are supposed to write the logic? Can you please tell me, any one of you? If you take any action on the
After input,
screen, yes,
PAI.
good, very good, PAI. So once you click on the button, you're after giving the input, right, you are going to trigger some, means whenever you take any action, that will be defined under the process after input. Okay, so case statement, and where it's going to have this one, psi ucom is the system variable where the selected button function code will be stored. So when if it is back button, then I would like to go back. So call or leave to screen 0, you can write leave to screen 0, so it will go back to your button. When cancel, then leave to screen 0 once again. Okay, or altogether here you can write it like this, or cancel, or back cancel or exit. In this all these three scenario, it should go back. That's what I'm trying to do. And end case, full stop, save it, check the syntax, activate this one, activate, put the breakpoint over here, and we will see how it's working. Right click over here on the Moon program, activate, so that everything will be activated and you will not get any problem. With the help of this transaction, run this one, give some no value is required at this point of time. Just go back, and you can see that when I click on this back button, this process after import event is getting called. Okay, press F6 and you can see that the SciUcom was having this back, the SciUcom is having this back command, the back function code captured, and I'm writing the code over here. That's why what it will do, that it will go back. Okay, so now we are getting the option to go back. That's good. Okay, that's good. I'm getting this option to go back. I'm going back now. Now I will complete my requirement. I will write the code to add two number. Okay. So that where we will write the code. If you remember, then just go to this transaction, press F8. Here we are going to push the give the value. Suppose 200. I'm going to give 300, right? So once you give this value should flow into the program. Okay. And what is the technical name of this input value? If you forget, press F1. No documentation available. You can see it's not giving anything over here, right? You'll have to define our documentation. Okay. So we are a developer, no problem. From here we can go to the screen, and first underscore n and second underscore n we have given the technical name. If you remember perfectly, or if you don't remember, from here also you can get it from the element list. Okay, from element list, first underscore n is there for the input output, second underscore n is there for the input output. The text button I have not given any name, that's why it has taken automatically some standard name, right? Text. For the first number I have given the name, so it's taking the first number as a name. So from here also you can get, there are also some useful information you can get it, you can display, right? If something is going to be mandatory, or if some radio group has been defined, in that case the function code. So these are some, you know, information about your element which you have defined on the screen. It is here. Okay, from here also you can double click and you can see that this is the technical name. This name is nothing.
Hello. Hello.
Hello,
Yes, sir. Hello. I, I think so.
hello,
I think sir
others.
has been.
It is working. Sir, there
No,
is
no,
some problem.
it's not working. His screen has been stopped. I don't know what.
Yeah, that's why it's stuck. His screen has been stuck.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
ఈరోజు నీకు జూమ్ చేస్తా. జూమ్ నేను మన ఇద్దరు జూమ్ చేద్దాం ఎట్లుంటుంది. సరిపోతాయా పేపర్లా? Hmm. Tamam.